Hi everyone, welcome back to your 30 days of Hypopressives. Today's day 5 and we're going to be focusing on a bit of release work, some visualizations for helping the pelvic floor release. We're going to be using a ball if you've got one, and it's just worth noting that we often hold quite a bit of tension in our pelvic floor area just when we've got symptoms and things, and can actually be tightening without even knowing it. So we're just going to do a couple of things just to try to let go before we kind of get into the poses. So I'm just going to pop the ball to one side. If you just want to come into sitting position, you might actually find it more comfortable just sitting in a chair for this one. And if you're on the floor, I would sit on a couple of blocks or a cushion. But what we're just going to do here is just do a quick sort of scan, body scan, and just feel like you're sort of relaxing your shoulders, relaxing through the top of the back. And I just want you to feel if you're tightening your pelvic floor, and if you are, just let that sort of release and just let go. Soften through the belly as well there. Okay, so we're going to have the hands on the ribs here. So when you're ready, we're going to take a nice steady breath in, almost feeling space through the sitting bones. Exhale. And again, inhale, feeling space through the sitting bones. And exhale. And then one more here, inhaling, feeling space through the sitting bones. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs here. Keep nice and tall. Let the breath work through the pelvic floor. And then when you're ready, 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs here. And then we're going to do just one more breath for the next one. So we inhale, exhale, and then into the vacuum. Inhale. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs here. Lovely. You can move your hands onto your legs. Super. So we're going to come into quadruped position. So in this position, we're just going to either have the fingertips forwards or towards each other here. We're going to actually bring the knees together and then bring the feet wide to the sides of the mat, which will just naturally open up a little bit through the sitting bones. When you take a breath in, I want you to imagine space through the sitting bones at the back. So they're almost just gently opening and gently closing as you breathe in and out. It's a very small movement, but you might just feel it here. So before you start, just let your pelvic floor go. And then when you're ready, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, imagining space through your sitting bones. And exhale. One more here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs here. Feel that length through the spine. And then 2 breaths. Inhale, feeling space through your sitting bones. Exhale. One more here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs here. And again, feel that length through the spine. Lovely. And then inhale when you're ready. So we're going to pop the elbows down. Press your hands and your forearms into the floor, and then eyeliners towards your knees there. 2 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Keep nice and long. And we're going to stay in this position for one more set with the 2 breaths. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Lovely. And then we're going to do fingertips together, elbows wide, head just lightly resting down here. Inhale. Exhale. And then one more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Hold that there for as long as it's comfortable. Then we're going to bring the feet together, come up nice and slowly. And then we're going to come onto the floor. So if you just want to bring your left foot onto your right knee and then bring your legs in here, if that's comfortable for you. And again, I just want you to do a quick sort of pelvic floor scan. I know this is in quite a stretched position, but just notice if you are sort of clenching consciously and just relax and release. Okay, so when you're ready, inhale, exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs here. Quite a stretch. Inhale when you're ready. We are going to switch to the other side, so draw the other leg towards you there. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Lovely. And then we're just going to grab hold of just our ankles here. So relax the legs. And again, it's a little bit tricky here, but do just try to see if you do have any excess tension in the pelvic floor. And if you do, just let that go. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Lovely. And then we're going to do one more here. So inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Super. And then if you want to just extend your right leg, you can either have that foot relaxed or you can have the toes facing towards the ceiling. And the same with this leg as well. You can either relax or have them facing the ceiling. I'm just going to have them relax for this one. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Release your glutes, release your jaw. And then inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Lovely, and then we're going to switch over to the other side. So bring the right leg in, extend the left leg. Inhale and exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Lovely. And then inhale when you're ready. Nice slow exhale. And then one more here. Exhale. Hold your breath. Stretch your ribs. Lovely, and then if you've got a ball like slightly deflated, then do grab that. We're going to just pop it behind the pelvis there, and we're just going to rock the pelvis. So drop down at the back, roll through at the front, and then on the right side, just drop that side, and then on the other side there. And we're going to do 3 breaths, just staying in this position here. Inhale. Exhale, breathing all the way through your rib cage, and exhale. One more here. Exhale, hold your breath, stretch your ribs. So we're just going to drop down at the back, roll forwards at the front, drop to the right, drop to the left, and then come back into that neutral position there. And then inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath, stretch your ribs, and then rolling back, rolling forwards. Repeating that. And then when you're ready, inhale. Exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold your breath, stretch your ribs, and we're going to bring the hands into first position, bring them up all the way to the top, draw the shoulders into the ground. Super. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale, staying in this position, and exhale. One more breath here. Exhale. Hold. Stretch your ribs. Lovely. Inhale when you're ready. You can move the ball away. Slowly come over, rolling up into sitting. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you got on well with that. Do let me know how you got on in the comments, and I will see you again tomorrow for day 6. Take care. Bye.